Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Reality Derby. I am Marcus James Dixon.
I'm Denton Davidson, and we are talking the end game of Big Brother today. We're getting near the end. We're going to talk about
Thank God.
who's going to win, who we want to win, who we think will win, and then we also have our exit interviews with Kelley and Lauren, who are the last two evicted house guests.
Yes, and they are in the jury house now with Rachel and with Will, and they are going to return on Sunday, September 28th. That is the finale. We're just days away.
Yeah, that's fast.
It's coming up. So, did you want to start with winner predictions?
I mean, we can. I think that the consensus, I think, all around, tell me if you could possibly disagree, is that Morgan, of who's left, deserves to win and could probably beat anyone left.
I think anybody, yeah.
That's there.
She doesn't have any enemies in the jury house. She has people that maybe didn't have an alliance with her, but nobody really hates her, especially compared to Vince, where Vince is making enemy after enemy. Like, he had final twos with Reilly, who's not in the jury house, but with Kelley, and he voted her out. With Lauren, and he put her up on the block, essentially voted her out. So there's going to be a lot of people in that jury house who are mad, who are bitter jurors, and I don't think he can win against Morgan or maybe anybody.
Yeah, I think there's even a case to be made that Ashley could beat Vince in a final two.
Maybe.
Depending on how bitter Morgan is. And, I mean, if Ashley has Rachel's vote, Will's vote, Kelley probably hates Vince enough to vote for her over him. And then it's just, I mean, it comes down to Keanu, who we're not mentioning him as a probable winner because we're pretty sure he's gone. I think he's been evicted. The live feeds are down. He was definitely the target this week and didn't get the veto. So I think he's probably gone unless there's a twist.
I mean, I heard there was rumors that there might be a twist where the bottom two, which currently is Ava and Keanu, instead of being voted out, they may have to do a challenge to see who goes out. Because remember, this is the mastermind's elimination. This is not a normal eviction. So I guess we'll see. The live feeds have been down for a long time now. And maybe they won't come back until after Thursday. We don't know. We're in the dark just like you are.
Well, if Keanu manages to somehow not get evicted today or this week, then he's still in the running. Although I think he's kind of lowering his chance. He has such a bad social game. I do think he could probably win over anyone except for probably maybe still Morgan. I think Morgan probably can win the votes any way you slice and dice.
And it's interesting because Rachel is going to be such a proponent of Keanu. If he's in the final two, she's going to go for him. She's going in a good way. She's going to try to convince all the other jurors to pick him. And I think she'll do the same with Ashley. I think if Ashley's in the final two, Rachel is going to do everything she can to make sure Ashley wins.
She said when she left, though, you have to make moves. And if Vince is smart enough to cut Morgan, if he's not. If he's given that opportunity, it'll be hard to make an argument against that. And speaking of not smart, Keanu is surprised that Vince put him on the block again.
I mean, you can only be betrayed by someone a number of times before you start getting used to it, and Keanu's still not used to it, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, they had that endurance HOH, and Keanu was like, oh, I was so glad it was just me and Vince at the end. I finally got some alone time with him. And he thinks, again, that they're just going to go to the end together. Like, time and time again, Vince has proven that's not the case. But Keanu, I think... I mean, hopefully I'm wrong. I think he just has no respect for women or their opinions, and he's clinging just to the only man in the house because he refuses to listen to women who have constantly. Rachel was the only one who told him the truth.
Mm-hmm. So also this week on the live feeds, there were people mentioned that the family members of the final five gave video speeches, which they do this every year. But something very interesting happened because Vince did not get a loved one speech from his girlfriend, Kelsey. I wonder why. What do you think that is?
I mean, she dumped him on social media. Well, not everyone. Me and you have been talking. And
we're everyone.
Wouldn't it be great if Kelsey had broken up with him on her family video? That would have been epic because we know there's all sorts of drama on social media. And obviously, the relationship between him and Morgan has pissed off Kelsey, and she's basically unfollowed him, and he doesn't realize that.
Although he may have gotten a hint because because I think Ava's boyfriend gave her a speech.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Kelsey didn't give him one was very telling. I agree that she should have just done it, bit the bullet, done it on TV. She would have become famous overnight. This is something that would have been shared outside of the Big Brother universe.
Yeah. I think Vince is just in a panic. I think he sees his game flashing before his eyes, and he seems destined to lose at this point, and then he's going to walk out of the house and probably a loser now with no girlfriend and still no job and living in his parents' house.
Yikes. I do think he had a shot this week. When he won HOH at the Final Five, he could have taken out Morgan and gotten a lot of respect from the jurors. I think that was his last chance, really, to make a move that would have impressed people, and he didn't do it.
I mean, he has a chance at final if he gets to the final three with Morgan and Ashley or Ava. He could still win that final veto and cut Morgan at the end. And then it's just a matter of how pissed off she is because she will have no time to process it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she would respect the move, but maybe not.
She should.
Know. Yeah. She's a gamer. America's Favorite House Guest will also be announced on Sunday night. I mean, I'm rooting for Rachel. I think you're picking Keanu?
I would like Keanu. I'm happy with Rachel or Keanu. I mean, I think it has to be one of those two. I think the votes will come down to those two, and then Will probably for third, which is going to really piss Ava off because she's been like, she came in with the mindset like that's what she was basically on the show for. Yeah,
and Ava, I mean, if you had asked me maybe a month ago who would win this, I would say Ava's going to be in the top three, but I think her perception has really changed recently. I think ever since the arm grab that Rachel did, that was kind of the moment people started feeling a different way about Ava. So I don't think she's going to be in that top three.
No, and everyone else is, I mean, Zingbot sort of mentioned it, Ashley, Lauren, they're the two most boring.
Mm-hmm. And Catherine and Reilly, I don't think they're going to get votes.
I already forgot they were there.
Mickey has a problem with fan perception as well. Yeah, this seems like there's maybe only 4 people even eligible for America's Favorite Player, and that's Rachel, Keanu, Will, Morgan. I would say she's up there.
No? I don't know. I think it's down to 3, and I would still maybe put Ava in 4. I think she might still have lingering fans.
We're not mentioning Kelley. Is she not? She's too busy playing with bugs.
I think she's like at the bottom of the list. She's like collecting bugs. No, Kelley. And Kelley, we in our interview that we're gonna show, her questions are so short. We can't speak to the jury house members. Like before jury, we were having conversations with them, but now they're sequestered. So we just have to submit our questions, and then they answer and send a video back. But I really have a lot of follow-ups for her because she didn't answer my questions.
The questions, her answers are very short. It's almost like she got to get to go shopping or get some lunch or something because she was in and out.
I felt the need to call out Vince in my exit speech to take the heat off of Lauren and Keanu and put it on Vince and Morgan. My favorite part of my entire Big Brother experience was the friends that I made and the very deep connections that I formed. I will always be grateful for the friends that I made in this house. My least favorite part had to be the sleeping arrangements, listening to people snoring and getting up in the middle of the night and making their bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. I had a hard time sleeping in the house. I think Zingbot's zing at me was potentially warranted. And after Zingbot said that I made them uncomfortable, I went full send and said, all right, I make you uncomfortable. Let's go. We're going to be really uncomfortable now. If I had made it to the final 2, I would have wanted to sit next to someone I could beat and someone that also deserved to win. My biggest regret this entire Big Brother season is not playing more chaotically. I would have started more fights. I would have been more of an instigator. I would have caused more drama in the house. I regret not full sending my craziness.
And she said her biggest regret is that she was not playing more chaotically. She wanted to start more fights. I agree. That would have been fun.
My favorite answer was, who did you want to sit with in the final two? And she just said, someone I could have beaten.
Smart. I love that answer.
Like, who is that? She didn't give a name because that person doesn't exist.
Yes.
Like, I don't think there's anyone in the game that she would actually beat at the end. So, anyway, it was kind of frustrating.
And then we also talked to Lauren, and Lauren talked about cutting ties with Vince, and she was ready to say goodbye, especially after he put her on the block. But then, that double eviction, even though she won the blockbuster in the first half of the episode, she was back on the block again, and she went home.
I think that my loyalty with Vince was unshakable until he put me up on the block. Because ultimately he did not have to make that decision, but he ended up doing that and putting my game in jeopardy in the process. So at that point, I was absolutely willing to cut ties with him as long as it made sense for my game. I was always going to keep him, at that point, I was always going to keep him close to me for as long as I thought that I needed him to get further in the game. But before he had put me up, he had my absolute loyalty. I never even considered putting him up or throwing him under the bus. There is so many amazing things. I feel like a lot of people have said, like, oh, I would never do this again, or I'm never going back. I'd go back tomorrow. I had an absolute blast. There were so many, great things, but I think that my least favorite part of the experience was sort of the intensity of it all, which also is what made it great. So there was extremely high highs and extremely low lows. Whenever you're kind of cut off and put in this bubble, every emotion feels heightened towards 100. And when every decision that you make, and every person that leaves, it feels like, it feels like a lot. So I guess that would be my least favorite part, but at the same time, winning and, overcoming things and, meeting a goal, or, seeing past the next week is, also an extreme high, which I think would be like the good parts of it. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword in a way. I think that Zingbot's zing was, he couldn't really come up with anything else. And he decided to call me boring, which is fine. I know I'm not boring. My people know that I'm not boring. I am sort of like a little bit more of a shy person, so I can see how that can come off. But I think the best zing, Keanu's was really funny. I mean, everybody had great zings, but Keanu's was funny. I didn't think that they were going to bring up the whole pee on the floor thing. That was insane. That got me. But yeah, his was funny. Oh, I definitely would have used the angle that Morgan had a hold on his game. So if we would have made it to the end, I could have said that, even though I made decisions that I thought might upset people, those were the decisions that I made. Nobody else made me. I think that a lot of Vince's decisions were driven by fear and also what Morgan wanted. So I think I would have definitely used that as a talking point. But I think I would have more focused on my game and my motives behind everything, and how I had gotten to that point. I have so many favorite players, but I have to say Janelle is one of my faves. Um, I have so many though. And when Rachel came down, I really honestly was not going to tell people that I was as much of a super fan as I was. And then I saw Rachel come down the stairs and I started like jumping and screaming, and people were like, it's like, but Rachel's season was sort of like, I want to say her first season was like the first season that I watched on TV. And at that time I must have been 7. Um, so it was super surreal to see her, and it was really cool to get to play this game with her.
I'm with Rachel. They showed Rachel in the jury house, and she was saying how she just doesn't understand like this aura that Vinny has, like his pull on people in the game. It's fascinating. I don't get it either, but it clearly exists because he had multiple people this season playing his game for him.
He did, and he's had many, many opportunities to shake the game up, and he has stayed loyal to Morgan the whole time, which I guess you could say that's a positive. I mean, you have a ride or die, you don't want to betray them. But I mean, I'm thinking of like midway through the game, he had a chance to get out Rachel, and that would have been like his defining moment, and he didn't do it.
Vince's problem that Morgan doesn't have is like she's stayed in this alliance the whole time. He had different alliances on opposite sides of the house, and everyone thought he was loyal to them. So once you have to start betraying them, that leaves a lot of people pissed off. And no one's pissed off at Morgan because she was never in an alliance with any of these people.
Well, America's favorite house guest, I forgot to mention Jimmy is voting for Rachel. He wants you all out there to vote for Rachel as well. He thinks it would complete her legacy on Big Brother.
I mean, that's all she doesn't have. And her sister has it.
Yeah, her sister won America's favorite house guest. I think Rachel deserves it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
That pretty much covers it. I'm like 6 days away, and we're going to wrap this thing up. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who wins. And you know what? I'm ready for it to be over.
I am too.
All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll check in with you next week on Reality Derby.